Hi everyone! Take two on filming my September layout share. I made 8 layouts in September. Two of them are for October, so I can't show them to you. Yeah, just 8. Oh, and a mini album. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Um, yeah, I got super sick and I don't know. They didn't know what was wrong with me. Of course, nobody would actually examine me to find out what was wrong with me. I just had extreme fatigue, no fever, a little bit of a sore throat, and I couldn't function. I could not for 3 weeks. I slept 12 to 16 hours a day. The last week on Monday, I came home from work and I ended up sleeping 18 hours that day. That's insane. I mean, I suffer from depression, and so every now and then, I do get in those things where it's just hard to get up. But I mean, usually 10 hours is max for me, and I wasn't feeling depressed. So they did some blood work. I was COVID negative. They did some blood work. They said, you definitely have an infection of some sort. But nobody even listened to my lungs. Nobody they wouldn't even let me come into the office because they said, you might be contagious. And I'm like, well, you're a doctor's office. But anyhow, sorry, little rant there. I'm over now. I'm feeling better. I still feel tired and not as bad though. And I haven't been sleeping as much, so that's good. And I feel like I have a little bit of energy, which is fantastic. Unfortunately, now my sleep pattern is just totally in the toilet. So yeah, we'll see how that works, but whatever. I thought on top of sharing my layouts, because there's so few, that I would also kind of show you how I do my Scrappy schedule. So if you don't know, I am on three design teams, plus I do a lot of collabs on top of that. So I have a lot of things that I need to kind of keep track of. So I'm not going to show you October's, but I'll show you September. So I got this book, and this is from Amazon. It comes in a 2-pack. It's like a bullet journal kind of thing. It comes in a 2-pack for $19. And I have to tell you, do I have it in here? This paper is phenomenal. So I ended up getting 2, so I have 4 total, but I did a pen test. Okay. And I even used watercolor, the Vicky Bouton watercolor brushes, straight on. The only thing that showed through was the Sharpie, a regular Sharpie marker. There's a little bit of shadowing with some of the stamps, but I mean, hardly anything. I can handle that. Oh my gosh, it is amazing. And you get 2 of them, so you get a black one and this color teal. I think they have other color options. But so anyway, I will try to remember to put a link down below for these because I cannot sing their praises enough. So anyway, I created my little calendar here, and then I tried to do a color coding system that wasn't working for me, so then I just ended up writing things on there. So here it has all of my things that are due for the month, a little inspirational quote over here. This just helps me keep track of days because working night shift, I oftentimes get a little sidetracked and can't remember what day of the week it is. And then I put little boxes. So I have these 3 dots, and it's supposed to be YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and I'm supposed to fill them in when I do it. And I don't think I'm going to keep doing that because I'm not filling them in. So I just fill in the square when I have completed my postings. On this page, I include these little boxes for my goals. So for September, I wanted to do 2 to 3 postings a week, which that didn't happen. I wanted to continue using the multiple larger photos, do boy theme layouts, which I definitely did, using up scraps, which I kind of did, and older sequins, I did that. This is to remind me to order some things. This is what I have different that's upcoming the next month, and then anything that I didn't get to. On the next 2 pages, I created these little squares so that I can kind of create sketches, and then in the center I can write the due date, what it's for, and then some little notes of like what my ideas are. So you can kind of see that. I did 2 pages of it because some months, like August, I used a lot more. But sometimes I like to bring this to work with me, and then I can kind of plan out my layouts in my head. And I find that it's been helpful. So this is October. I'm not going to let you see everything I have due, but yeah, I haven't really filled this out yet because, like I said, I was super sick. And then I just have that. And so I went through the rest of the year. And then figured I would do all this, and then I would check it out and see if I was still liking that. So I don't know if you have a lot of collaborations and stuff like that, if this is something that might interest you. Yes, so moving on, I, like I said, did like 6 layouts. So this first one was for Spiegel Mom Scraps, and I created this beautiful background using shimmers, and I used some that Jody used to carry in her shop, and then some new ones that I got. I used my Shop It or Stash It kit, so that was kind of the theme for this month. Unfortunately, I didn't, like I said, I just didn't do very well on it, but all of this stuff is from that kit. There's some Dear Lizzie and some Maggie Holmes, some of the Ellie Studio, and then I pulled out some of the new sequin mixes to put them on here. And I really love how this turned out. It's going with my boy theme. I think all but maybe one layout has my son in it. So I included 2 photos. They're like 3.5 by 4, I believe. And it's actually like 2 photos, like my son laying here and then his feet over here with the puppy, and I just kind of put them together. I thought that was kind of cool. This one was for shimmers this month, and I absolutely love this one. So I had ordered a whole bunch of yellow because I don't know, I go through these shopping things and it's like, oh, I need some yellow, so I just buy them all. And I had made a swatch sheet, which if you go to my shimmers share, you will see my swatch sheet, and I cut it apart and then cut it into squares and then just kind of built up the background. So you can see it's like pretty dimensional. I did pop just a couple pieces up on some fun foam, but otherwise I just put a bead of glue along one side of the square so that the rest of it will kind of curl up. And I really like how that turned out. Used a lot of the Maggie Holmes stickers from the kit. Used these dots from Shimmers. These beautiful photos of my daughter. And yeah, I just really love how this turned out a lot. Next up is another Spiegel Mom Scraps layout. And so I used, was this for something else too? This might have been for, I don't remember. But I used these shapes that are just a cut file, and I cut them out, and then the center cuts out. So I stacked up the centers to kind of create this pattern here and have them pointing in, and then I used the outer shapes to create this diagonal effect. This is again papers from my kit, and then this I fussy cut out of one of the papers from the kit too. Some Ellie Studio tags. I love these flowers. Those are from the Dear Lizzie Here and Now sticker sheet, and then the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous sequins, which I think I used a Storybook and Lush Lime, I believe, are the 2 mixes I used. But there's a video for this, so you can check that out. But I just really like, it feels simple, but it's not. I just really like that. This one was for Scraptember. Excuse me. And, oops, sorry about that. And so I had cut files. So I used 2 different cut files, and these were both part of my stash kit. They were ones that I cut out before, and I just kind of been holding on to them. So I stacked them on top of each other. So you can see there's a heart here, and then this floral one is actually from, I think, B Valiant on her blog, and it's a freebie. And so I just layered them together. I just left them white on white. I used this pink paper from Maggie Holmes. And then I pulled in, right? No, that's not Maggie Holmes. What is that? Maybe Art Walk? I don't remember. It's from my stash kit. And then I pulled in some of these pieces from the Pink Paisley 5th and Monaco die cut set. And then I pulled these bows in from the Maggie Holmes Sweet Story kit. And I just adore this. I added a few sequins, and that's my son. He's so cute. So beautiful. I love him. Yeah. So, here's another one that isn't a boy layout. So this was for everyday inspiration, and our inspiration was a picture of a Ferris wheel. And so, oh, well, that's no good. So we had these pictures, and I didn't have one of like me and my son, or my son and my husband, or my husband and the girls, or anything. So that showed like that was of good quality with the Ferris wheel in the back. So I just decided to use this one of me and my girls. And let's get this back on there. I really had fun with this. So this is the paper that Christy chose from the Maggie Holmes Sweet Story collection. For us to like mandatory use. And so I used that as my background. I used this, it was a flower wreath cut file, and it didn't cut nicely, and that's why I hadn't used it, but I didn't want to throw it away. So I cut it in half and decided to go with this vertical type layout. Sorry if I'm shaking that. Stop talking with your hands, Daisy. And then I used another crepe paper and cut out these Ferris wheels, and then I just went to town with my embellishments. So I used some Paper House Productions. This is a scrap from one of the other pieces of paper in the kit. This is from Maggie Holmes. These are from Maggie Holmes. I used some of the Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins. This is from Dear Lizzie. This is one of my Shimmers dots. These are from Maggie Holmes. This was a clear sticker that I put on some white paper and cut out. And yeah, I'm very happy with this. I kind of wish I had like stitched around it, but it's done, so we're not going to worry about that. And then this layout was yesterday's layout, or actually it's today, but I'm putting this up tomorrow. And so it was supposed to be just for Quilter's Vibe, and I had like some major technology difficulties, and I was too not feeling well to figure it out. So I just decided I would use it for Quilter's Vibe and off the board. Since the quilt is from Pinterest, it's technically not cheating. But I used this cut file from Paper Issues, and I kind of duplicated it and built it up to create this sort of arrow chevron type shape. And then I cut it out on the Dear Lizzie paper, which was my requirement for the shop kit, that we both had to have that. And I used my sewing machine and just stitched down on the white stripes of this paper to kind of hold it down. And I really love how that turned out. It really, I feel like, looks like the inspiration. Like you can see that quilt in this layout. And I got to use up a bunch of little stickers, some of the Ellie Studio tags, a lot of sequins, and these big sequins, which I often struggle to use, but they fit perfectly with this layout. I got another one of those random cut files from my stash kit. And it's another picture of my son. It's me and him when he was just over a year. So yeah. And then last but not least, and actually this is probably the first thing I made, is Cardstock Warehouse. I'm not sure if this is up yet on the blog, but it should be shortly. And so I created this cut file, and thanks to Virginia Walker from Confessions of a Paper Addict, she helped me out with some figuring things out. And we're going to be able to put it up as a PNG file on the blog post. So it'll be free to everybody. And so I'm not going to like flip through the whole thing because I do have a video flipping through this. But you can see I created these little fold out pages for each grade because my son is a senior this year. And so I wanted to kind of showcase his school photos. So I created these little flip outs, and then I used just a lot of things for my stash. I haven't glued down the photos yet because I put, well, not that one. I put some information on the back, like what teacher they were in, what year it was, that I'm planning on journaling. So each one of them has this flip out, and I embellished each one differently. I didn't have wallet size of each photo, so I had to use bigger sizes in some of them. And like I said, I didn't put the journaling on because I kind of want that to be like family private, you know. But yeah, so I went through and I'm missing a couple of photos here because I have to figure out what happened to them. But yeah, I just had a lot of fun with this, and I really like this flip down thing. It did take me a little bit to realize you can see the back of this, so I had to like cut the paper nicely, but that's kind of, I think I'm going to put my journaling over here. And yeah, so that is the cup or the layout or the mini album. Jeez Louise. And I use, like I said, it's for Cardstock Warehouse, so I used their Pop Tone Sweet Tooth, which is a 100-pound paper, so it's super thick, so it should hold up very nicely to my little ring here and for people flipping through it. I did make the holes on this pretty large because I know some people like to put, you know, things up here, and I didn't want them to rip the holes. And also, well, to be honest, because they looked much smaller on the cut file until they actually came out, then I'm like, holy crap, those are huge, but it's fine. It gives you a little bit more space for your pages, you know, like if you had a tiny hole, it sometimes can get hard. But anyhow, so that is my September share. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope maybe like you enjoyed seeing how I kind of plan out my Scrappy endeavors and everything. And if you have any questions or comments or anything, please go ahead and leave them below and I will get back to you. I do read every single comment, and I, you know, like and heart everybody's comments. I don't always have time to respond to them, and for some reason my phone on the app doesn't like me responding to them. I don't know why, but I have issues. So don't we all? But anyhow, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.